Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. This is your host, Deontay, here with my friends, Jalen and Josh, with some more interesting news to bring y'all again for the week of, October 19th. And this year is flying by like nobody's business. I could have sworn I just had my little anniversary at the job, but I guess not. But how y'all doing outside of the technical difficulties? Don't speak
Good.
at once. Jeez. Why people?
I was trying to let Josh go do his thing. I'm trying to let him be great.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta get a voice in sometime. Jalen talk too much, so
True.
Man, what? Nah, just fine.
Sometimes I don't let get an edgewise. Just sometimes. Not all the time.
Man, I don't know, dude. Nah, I'm good. I'm just trying to make the most of getting a little nippy out here at the Chicago weather, man. I'm like, dang. But I'm straight up.
Yeah. It's that windy city.
Yeah.
You told you to blow your toes off. Remember last time we was there? Don't get frostbite.
You need me to send you some Timbs?
Don't get
Nah,
frostbite.
Tim's for y'all New York people, man. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing.
Frostbite in the pinky toe. All right. Well, I mean, there isn't. Wait, Josh, did you even say? I don't even know if you said. Dang, I ain't even paying attention. Did you say?
No, I ain't had much to say. I just been same thing, living life, trying to wait till these new systems come out next month.
You trying to just
Staying
maintain?
occupied. Yeah.
Just maintain. Okay. I see you. Same. I'm real excited for these next generation of consoles. I'm just excited to do something. It's been pretty boring at the crib with this social distance and stuff.
Yeah.
It's nice to have something to look forward to, but once that's over with, then what? Then what? So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying not to play anything that I feel like would be better off playing on the new system, with the upgrades.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I'm looking at right now, I don't even know. I mean, I hear Ghost of Tsushima is supposed to have a 60 FPS mode. Now, hopefully, it's I can still just play with y'all on that, and that'd be nice. But I ain't really seen nothing else that I was thinking about like playing a lot. Outside of Watch Dogs, which they said is gonna be 4K 30. I was like 4K 30 with the ray trace. I'm like, but do y'all have a 60 FPS performance mode? Because I'd rather play it at 60 frames per second at 1440p. To be honest, I'm like, I'm straight. I'd rather play it at 60 frames per second. But we will see. That's what they claiming though. I don't really want I don't want that type of experience. I'm done with the 30 frames. But obviously they're gonna still creep their little heads up. But first topic, what was we talking about? Oh yeah, it was Ghost of Tsushima. Those Ghost of Tsushima legends, and we played it for a little bit together. At least I know I played a little bit more than you guys. But for real, honestly, I mean they put Avengers to shame, man. It was they basically gave us a free Avengers. They didn't charge you for it, and it had systems that actually worked. The matchmaking actually worked. It wasn't broke at the beginning, so people were actually able to play it, and it was good. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems weird that they couldn't get that figured out and fixed. And now they're delaying the whole patch for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox One Series X. I'm just like, you guys are failing in the most like, it's just there's a public failing. And I was like, I wish y'all would have just did a single player and left it at that, because what y'all tried to do is trash. But
Yeah, they clearly wasn't ready for like the games as a service whole system, because it's already hard to maintain, and that just took a lot of resources from where y'all should have been focusing on, story or just making the gameplay more interesting.
Yeah, I think Ghost of Tsushima nailed it right on the head. Where what I was looking for, it's easy gameplay, but you can get better at it. The mechanics and the stuff they introduce seems refreshing. The gameplay and the styles of the characters is refreshing. It's not as you would normally play within the regular game. You don't have all of the healing items and the ability to use focus to just heal yourself. So it's a lot more, paying attention to your surroundings and making sure you're not, actually playing as a team, because it is important when you got all those mongrels around you, and you don't have you don't have your special moves. So it's definitely a balanced mode. I really enjoy the survival because it seems as if it has the most challenging and more difficult portions of it, but I'm waiting for those nightmares, or at least getting strong enough to do those nightmare ones and things like that. Because it's in like a cool mode, and again, for free, you can't really beat it. It has a lot of cosmetic stuff you can chase, a lot of replayability, and it seems as if they got their loot system, their character system, and all that stuff down packed before they shipped the game, or before they updated the game, at least.
Yeah, what you got to say, Jalen?
I don't know. I talk too much. Remember? Not just fun.
Man, it's hard to get you on the game nowadays, but we got you to play Tsushima. Was it worth it?
Yeah, it's fun. I ain't finna lie. I honestly, I probably played that multiplayer more time than those two matches I played in the multiplayer is more time than I have invested in the single player. That's kind of bad.
Boy on some trash.
Man, nah, bro. School got me on some trash.
Yeah,
man. It got me in the field.
You're right. Never mind.
But nah, I liked it a lot, man. I honestly wanted to play it again. Like, I'm like, man, we doing this podcast. I'm like, man, we can play the game at the same time. But I just like, nah, I got to think about all the audio and stuff like that. But yeah, man. I mean, I like it a lot. I think they definitely did their thing on the multiplayer and everything. I haven't played the Avengers, so when y'all talk about that, I can't really like fully empathize. But
just think about Mass Effect Andromeda.
Man, nah, Andromeda was tight, dude. Them stiff animations, they be jumping up and down and stuff.
Yeah,
crazy. Not just fun. Nah, but yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. I mean, I definitely play it again and stuff like that. I was thinking like survival would be kind of like shallow. Like usually survival modes and stuff like that, they just be like, I guess I was thinking kind of like a fighting survival mode, like you just keep playing till you lose, kind of like Call of Duty Zombies and stuff. But it was cool that they had the little like mini objectives and stuff and the bonuses, and you level up and you get your key up and stuff like that. And then, like Deontay said, I feel like it's pretty balanced too, so you can't just go in there and just keep healing and stuff. Because I definitely was like, hey man, where that focus thing at, man? I got 3 circles. Like, no, you can't use that, G.
Yeah.
No, it definitely has a synergy to it where a lot of other games don't. So I think it'll reward you for actually putting in some effort in it. Obviously, it's trying to funnel you to the quick play and giving you more rewards so they can keep the service live, and it's not people just playing with their friends or just going to pick certain missions and having to build on servers. So they actually built in some mechanics that makes it seem as if they're trying to not only manage the load but keep a growing and a thriving player base. So they make smart decisions in my eyes, and it's surprising for a company that's normally doing single player games that they have so many different mechanics and tools in there that really shines through as a polished multiplayer developer. So I like it a lot. But
it's pretty good. Of course, like it's new and they don't have all the raid and like extra stuff out yet. So I'm interested to see if they even want to like keep supporting it over the next couple months. But it's a pretty good addition. And I think most of Sony like first party single player games are have like an extra multiplayer component that's pretty decent. I didn't play the Uncharted multiplayers, but I know that they were popular with a lot of people. And I think The Last of Us is gonna have one coming up in probably next year or two. So it's a nice addition and it's free, so it's worthwhile. Makes the game even more appealing for people who haven't bought it yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean that like those are I guess those are the important aspects of it is that they keeping this game fresh. Obviously, people aren't going to be wanting to sell it now, and I mean, it's so it doesn't seem it's like a great just play for the company. It's not even like a cash grab or anything. It's just honestly, hey, y'all liked our game. We want to do some more stuff for y'all. Here y'all go. And that's what I like about that's what I liked about it a lot anyway. Ghost of Tsushima was already a pretty good game. Well, not a pretty good game. It was a really good game. And now it just became even better off of the multiplayer alone. And it's giving us stuff that, most companies charge you for free. So hats off to you, Sucker Punch. And I'm glad I gave you $63.59 at the beginning of the year.
Hmm.
But I guess any last thoughts on the Ghost of Tsushima before we move this right along?
Um, no, you got something, Jalen?
Uh, nah, not really. I ain't got nothing to say about it.
No. All right. Well, the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about, and it's just more so something that I'm just looking forward to in the fall, and like again, it doesn't have to be gaming related, but most of my stuff is because that's all I really got to look forward to because 2020 is trash. But most of like again, my stuff is going to be fall, but you don't have to keep it to fall related if you don't want to. But it can just be in the space that you're interested in. But me, you already know. I want that Xbox Series X. I want that PS5. But I also am really looking forward to a new phone. I'm actually looking forward to my Pixel 5 that's going to be coming out here shortly. And I actually, yeah, I mean, I feel like they did a good job with this one, honestly. I feel like they actually took some time and thought about it. It's not as cheap as I would want it to be, but at least it's cheap enough for me to get a few, buckets off here and there, and then I can sell my other phone and I can get it for a cheaper price. But the Pixel 5, at least over the last few years, the Pixel 4, the Pixel 3, they haven't been that, interesting, and they haven't been worth it in my eyes. They've been toting them as flagships, but they really wasn't competing well. But these Pixel 5 just basically levels the playing field. They take them out of the range of $1,000. They drop them down to the $699 range, the budget phone range, and they give you, the Google experience. And they have other lineups where they have the $500 phone or the $400 phone. And yeah, I think they did a really good job with this implementation. At least they actually took some time. They went back to the drawing board. Not really, but they made some cuts in places where they normally wouldn't in order for it to get it to that price. And now we have I like my simplicity of phones. I don't really like all the flashy bells and whistles because honestly, all I use it for is to make calls, text, and check up on media. So I don't really need a powerhouse. I'm not gaming on my phone. I'm not doing much. The camera is still well known to be one of the best cameras on any phone out there. So it's not like the camera is needed. It's not like, more processing power is needed to have a good camera because all that stuff is done with their algorithm and their, After Effects and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, honestly. But it's still expensive. But I'm looking forward to that phone. And that's something I definitely more excited to get my hands on than anything else because I've rocking this Pixel 3 XL for the last I think like 2.5 years now, and I'm over it. It's nothing wrong with it, but I'm over it. I got this big old nasty notch I'm sad of looking at, and I'm over it.
Yeah, it's a lot of new phones coming out. As I haven't been keeping up with smartphones as much, honestly, nowadays, just because I don't know. I feel like features overall have kind of peaked for the average users, where as long as you have a smartphone, you can pretty much do everything.
Exactly.
And the newer phones just have, just extra bells and whistles.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, some of them are weird. Like honestly, all those flip phones and like foldable phones. I personally would never get that, but they seem like interesting technology, so it might lead to somewhere interesting in the next
Talking
couple
about
of
that
years.
LG Wing. I'm like, why would I want to have my phone flip to the side and have an additional screen? It's like it doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw one. Is that the one that looked like a DS where you fold it open?
yes, bro. It's not like you. It's like you. It's like you flick it open. It's not folded open. That's the fold. That's the Galaxy
Oh,
Fold.
okay.
But it's the one you flick to the side and it spins up and it turns horizontally. So you have
Oh
this
yeah.
two
Hmm.
screens, one yeah, and it flips horizontally. It's called the LG Wing because it like it's flapping wings. It's
Hmm.
like the weirdest concept ever. I'm not even sure why they brought that to production, but somebody had to do it. Somebody had to say, "Hey, this'll be fly," and they had to buy into it. So yeah, you got
Yeah.
an LG Wing out there now.
But yeah, um, smartphones just are expensive. So I just been trying to hang on to the one whatever one I have for at least 2, 3 years until I really need to get a new one.
Yeah,
Um,
has it starting to feel like you don't necessarily need to upgrade every year? You don't even need to necessarily upgrade every 2 years. You can hold off honestly, and it'd be fine. I think it's starting to get to that point where these phones are in such, you know, they are such a non, they're not really becoming more and more beneficial to you anymore. You know how when it went from 2010 to 2015, you saw a huge benefit from changing phones yearly, and then from 2015 to 2017, it was like and now it just doesn't seem worth it at all, honestly, unless you really are, you know, just, need to be on the bleeding edge of a processor because it's not the technology. You're always going to still have it. The masses are still going to get that stuff, 2, 3 years out. And most people don't
mhm.
rock the newest phone anyway, so they always targeting budget phones and then pushing up, not the other way around where they target the bigger phones and then push down. It's not that way. It's always lower to go higher. So I don't really see the point anymore, honestly. And I feel like Google has like made the smart decision where they like, no, obviously people gonna buy Apple phones because it's Apple. They're not gonna ever stop. But I feel like that market is gonna hit a cap where they have to innovate in a meaningful way for me to jump into it. They did do some nice stuff. I ain't gonna hold you. The Apple phone, iPhone did some nice stuff. But they just have to. It's not as innovative as I would like. I would like a more simplistic approach to a phone, like they did with the SE, because they give you a lot of phone for a very cheap price, and I'm okay with that. Versus, going the higher end and doing all that extra, and it's not really that much beneficial to me. So
Yeah. With with a lot of these phones, like you said recently, it's not because they're looking for features that are actually like brand new. It's just kind of refinements of existing features and making them better. Because like you said, back like 2010, everybody was doing different things. Like, oh, our phone has a smart assistant like Siri, but it can do this, or this phone has like a fingerprint reader on the back and stuff like that. And they
mm-hmm.
were trying to implement all these different features to make every phone stand out on its own. Nowadays, it's kind of like, everybody knows what a Pixel is, everybody knows what an iPhone is, and so it's just trying to make those phones a little bit better with a better camera. That's the focus nowadays.
Yeah.
So unless you like destroy your phone like Jay Boyd, then you ain't really got to upgrade.
Ran that mug through a semen grinder.
Dude.
Yeah, that boy hit a green shell.
And got hit by a blue shell.
Mamma mia! That boy spit out of control.
No, it's them green shells that you throw forward and they come and bounce back and hit yourself.
that whoa. I mean, I feel the same way. Like, you know, like used to selling phones and stuff like that. I just felt like before, like you said, kind of in that time period, like 2012, 2013 and stuff, like you had to upgrade your phone within 2 years. I remember we used to be pushing people like, look, bro. I remember people was trying to come get that 4S, man. They're trying to get that 8 gigabyte 4S when the iPhone 5S came out. And I was just like, bro, look, I'm begging you, don't buy this phone, man. You buying a 2-year-old device, and then you're going to have to be stuck with it for 2 years. I mean, it's going to be 4 years old, bro. That mug going to stop working maybe after the first year you get it, you know what I'm saying? Because it'd be a 3-year-old device. But I feel like things definitely change now. You don't have to swap out phones and stuff as much. I know that like AT&T and stuff, they got them little plans where you can swap them out every year and stuff like that. But I just feel like you don't really need to do that. And for the first time, I mean, I had a phone for like 3 years or whatever, and my phone's still running fine. I'm only inclined to get the new phone because I cracked my phone, and for whatever reason, they can't get out here and fix my phone. After 4 times of trying to fix my phone, they still ain't fixed that mug, bro. I got curved 4 times.
Yeah, it's pandemic. Pandemic for you.
Man, I ain't trying to hear none of that, bro. They on some bull. I pay these jokers monthly insurance, man, and they still ain't fixed this joint. Like, come on, dog, make it make sense. But anywho, I'm just reinforcing Deontay's point where you don't feel the need to upgrade your phone and stuff, because before, man, them Androids and all that type of stuff, bro, them mugs is ticking time bombs. That battery be going down. Even the iPhones, they used to have 70%. That mug would jump down to 20%, hit you with that battery low notification, and jump back up to 50. That boy's be going crazy. They don't do that now, though. So.
Yeah. It's they had to fix it. Remember when they was diminishing the returns on the battery because and people was like getting mad, so they stopped doing they lowered the I forget what they did. They like dropped the processor speed, or they did the
to save the battery life when it starts degrading. They slow the clock speed on the processor so that it's not using too much power and just turn off because your battery's bad.
Yeah, so that's what they did in order to like stop people from being upset, because people found out about it and they didn't do that. But they said you still at that point. I mean, if your battery just started dying at 10%, then don't blame it on us. So that's that was the trade off there. So I think more people benefited anyway, because the batteries aren't that bad if you know how to take care of your batteries and you know how to actually just charge them up and not leave them on the charger, or even if you like constantly running it down to zero and not actually topping it off properly, it won't be an issue. I've had my phone for quite a while, and I haven't had any any type of situation where that was occurring. So I just think it depends on how the user really, on how they're using their phone often, and how often they're charging and things like that.
Man, I'm bad with mine. I don't let that power cycle stuff happen, bro. My phone always on.
Yeah, well, you don't have to have the power cycle.
It doesn't have to die. It's just supposed to go through its like full, 100% to 10% throughout the whole day, instead of some people. They get to 70 and they plug it in and they leave it there all day, and that's not really not really good.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like, man, I'm finna go outside, man. I mean, my phone got to be at 100%.
And then you have the new stuff with the fast charging, and it's supposed to diminish it more, but I forget how much of a difference it is. But who really cares if I can get out the house in 10 minutes versus an hour and still have 100? I'm fine. So I mean, it just really depends because I definitely hate the fact when you're at 10%, you be like, "Oh, we Gucci, and we can still make a few phone calls and that much just die." And that's annoying, but good thing I have never been in no emergency situation when something like that happens. So, uh, and plus I use Androids. I don't fool with y'all iPhone boys. I got an iPhone, but I don't use it. I just it's just in the house for video production purposes only.
Nah,
But yeah, they had some cool stuff.
he be on that iMessage when we ain't looking, Josh. Man, I got integrated FaceTime, man. I'm finna go crazy.
Man, you had to get an iPhone so it can actually take some pictures.
Oh my god, you're right.
Hey, make
Stop
a
it.
Snapchat. You know them Snapchats, boy. Them Androids get on there. They be teleporting everywhere, bro. I be
Don't
like,
nobody be teleporting, man. Stop it.
hey, you be like, dang, bro. I'm like, man, you got to cross the screen in the span of a quarter of a second, bro. How is y'all teleporting all over y'all screen, bro?
Man.
I'm like, they
Nobody
really be morphing, dog. Like,
see, you got somebody that's using some
man,
bootleg Samsung or something like that.
nah, dude. They just be
They
teleporting everywhere on the camera. I'm like, man, y'all, I don't know if that's your phone or if y'all got some type of skill I don't know about, man, but y'all need to teach me.
ain't
They be having
nobody
they washed out colors and stuff, man.
Yeah, whatever, dude. I swear, yeah. I have never seen a group of people be so convinced that their product is much better than iPhone users. That is ridiculous.
I don't like iPhones, bro. I just like iMessage. That's the only thing I like about it. But I did look into that, and I think like when they program on Snapchat, it's more linear when they code it for iOS versus when they code it for Android. You know, Android, you got the title Android, then you got the different subcategories of Android. You got like HTC, you got like Samsung, you got stock. Well, stock usually is like the basis or whatever. But you got like LG, so you got the different UIs and stuff. You know, they get their updates at different times and stuff like that. And then apps be looking different on them. And then you got the ones with the buttons on the screen and other ones without the buttons on the screen. So they need to code it to something to make it easier for the devs. So they just put it in some type of like basic form, if that makes sense. That's what the way I've read it some years back, and the reason why the Snapchat isn't as developed on Android as it is on iPhones. I don't know how true that is though.
I mean, that could be true. I mean, I would expect them, them to be developing for that. But I remember Snapchat specifically tapping into the API of the camera for recently for Google. Instead of having a generic camera that they utilize for their services, they actually are tapping into the camera associated with the phone, because it was more easier to do that than to actually take the time and go through and detect the camera, make sure you're using the correct settings and things like that. So they decided to just blanket it, and it caused it where everything looks terrible. That's why I never used Snapchat, and I never thought the Snapchat camera was good. But that might have caused the issue on Instagram, when you're just normally chatting with someone, all those cameras are perfectly fine. And y'all, again, you iPhone users, I swear.
I don't got no allegiance to iPhone, bro.
Yeah. Well, you individuals, not you, I guess, individuals that use iPhones, in my opinion, have some weird, some fixation with being better than Android. When honestly, you're still a consumer. I'm glad that Apple made that type of they have become such a a staple in so many people's minds that they feel like that's the life of luxury. and they put that to the luxury, like you don't talk to me if you ain't got no AirPods, don't talk to me if you ain't got no Apple Watch. Like that is luxury to the common man. So I mean that's a good thing to have, but understand that there's other options out there too, people.
Yeah, people be too they be too consumed with the Apple meaning some type of like superiority and stuff like that. I used to hate that when
Yeah.
I like sold phones and stuff, but I always made it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no allegiance to them. I literally I tell people every single time like I don't really take pictures and stuff like that. Sometimes Android has better pictures. Sometimes iPhone have. I feel like Android pictures are like they're not. It's not like universally better. They just have certain parameters where they're better at. And then iPhone, I always felt like iPhone wasn't better at everything. It was, I guess, like the jack of all trades. But I feel like Android had like some areas where it was like the master. And I mean, yeah, I don't feel like either phone is really superior. I think it's more catered to the user and stuff like that. But like I said before, that Snapchat though, man, they definitely be warping around on Snapchat, man. I ain't finna lie to you. They be everywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. At the end of the day, it don't matter. They're just phones, and some people like to pick on Android users, and on the opposite side, some people like be like, "Oh, I'm anti-Apple because I don't support big companies and blah blah blah." And none of that really matters. It's just it's a bunch of different phone options, and at the end of the day, pick the one that fits you. Either it's your budget, or you're looking for features, or more customization, and you just pick a phone because it's really at the end of the day it don't matter because you all have access to the same Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. So everybody is on the internet anyway, so you don't really need a phone to call. We just all on the internet anyways.
yeah, like pick a phone, buddy. It's fine. You'll be okay. I think the market for the bottom market is starting to become way more competitive than I thought. Like I was watching some video about a like some type of phone. It was like $200, $250 or whatever, or no $300, and it was like it had a lot of features in it and things like that. But obviously, I'm sticking with my Pixel because I enjoy Google's algorithms. I like Google's stuff, and it's easy to integrate it into my house and what I do on the day to day. So I enjoy them a lot, and I enjoy Google Assistant. Again, she probably the best assistant out there, and the most intuitive and smart versus a lot of the other ones. But yeah, I mean that's one portion of what I'm interested in, like looking forward to for the end of this fall here. I know that's coming out soon, actually, like in 10 days. That's not fall. I guess it's technically fall, right? When do we hit fall? September? That's fall.
I think September 21st, maybe.
Yeah, so it's fall. But I know other things I'm looking forward to is just video games again associated with like Watch Dogs, Legions. I'm really looking forward to Cyberpunk and that game and just running around in there. That's gonna take up a bunch of my time. I took some vacation time for that game. Yeah, that's how important it is. And I guess I don't know. I mean, there's really nothing else that I'm like super excited to see. I'm more so excited to get to that Thanksgiving. Give me some of that beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken. I'm ready for the memes to come back. I'm ready for that. I'm ready to give me a bunch of just junk. I want the yams. I want that the 4 cheese macaronis. I want all that junk back. I want the that weight back. I know me and Karina made like, dude, it was like we was making plates for like 5 to 7 people coming over. It was just us. We was eating on that junk for weeks. Well, not weeks, like a week. But yeah, we was eating on that junk for a while. So I'm ready for that. Give me a Patty LaBelle pie. Call it quits. What y'all got what y'all looking forward to this fall?
Fall break
Uh,
or winter break?
Oh yeah,
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 breaks would be nice
yeah,
because you get back in school and you working, you don't get no break.
yeah. Oh yeah,
So
I
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah, school sucks, people. It's the it's the it's the means to an end, and I hate that feeling. Like this ain't what I want to do. This ain't even what is necessary for me to do it, but I gotta do it because y'all claim it's what is needed, and that's what I don't like about school. I feel like they don't prepare you for real life. They just prepare you to how to really, or how to pretend to have it together, because it's not, you're never going to have it together until you actually start doing it. So
Hmm.
they just teach you how to pretend to have it together until you get to the point where you can't pretend no more, and you actually have to do something, and then people actually start teaching you and learning. You learn on the job and things like that. So, well, it's definitely taught me how to research and how to memorize. I got a pretty good memory based off of the techniques I learned in high school and college.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, otherwise, when I do have some free time, I haven't taken any days off because I don't know what what stuff is going to be like in the winter because stuff want they trying to open up stuff countrywide and supposedly next semester we're going to be back on campus, but you never know what's going to happen. So I feel like I should expect to not be going anywhere and just getting ready for get my homework done, make sure everything with work is straight, and hopefully be home with my family and enjoy the holidays. I want to travel, go other places, but we don't know if that's going to be able to happen this year. Um, yeah, otherwise, just playing games.
yes.
Um, I was going to ask y'all what game or game franchise do y'all feel like y'all put the most amount of hours in?
Well, we already know about you, Trash Frame, but
It
green.
ain't even
us,
Warframe.
it ain't Warframe. Stop. It must be
No, it ain't
Monster Hunter
Warframe.
then after, because then I was like, you play Warframe on $500 on multiple consoles. How did you not get that? How does Warframe not? Because I know you did on the
Nah,
Switch, you did on the PS4, and you did it like, I thought it was another one you did. I
yeah.
thought you started on the PC or something.
No,
But
just switch PS4.
but the most I've ever put into a, that's gonna have to be Destiny. It's always gonna be Destiny for me. I haven't played a game in that way ever. Um, and it never probably will happen again in my lifetime. I mean, not what I'm planning on doing and where I'm going in life. It's just it probably would never happen again. But during that time, which probably it shouldn't have been during that time either of college, but it happened.
Man,
And
college is chill, bro. You just that was the best time to do it. To be honest with you,
I mean, yeah, it was because I ain't had no. I mean, you have responsibilities, but you can like you not
finesse.
you can like finesse it a little bit. So, uh, yeah, that's why I graduated with a major GPA of 3.01 and
Man,
not an overall GPA over 3. So, yeah, like I said, that piece of paper ain't worth nothing, y'all. Don't even don't believe the hype. It ain't worth nothing. But yeah. That was Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 close second. I mean Borderlands series, I mean, it's a close second. But really it's been Death Dog. Death Dog for a while.
yeah, that's probably the
Yeah.
same for me. That's
Nah, Kingdom Hearts for you.
Yeah, he
nah,
probably
hey,
just
that's the second one, man. That's dog
nah.
definitely got to beat.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You didn't play that game. How many
Man, you
times you done
played
ran through
how many
that?
times you beat 10? I mean, beat 2?
Man, I probably beat two like 5 times maybe, bro. But that's dog. I got like 500 plus hours on that mud. That's hard to beat, man. That's a lot of
Man.
doggone hours. We talking about falling asleep on a game and stuff too. Shit.
But that's over like 3 or 4 years that accumulated to that 500 hours. Kingdom Hearts you've been playing for since what, the PS2?
Yeah, since the PS2. But that's like less concentrated though. That's more. That's like a
But you play
dilute.
them every year. That's the difference.
It won't ever.
Boy was a repeat offender, man. I don't know
Man.
what is up with that. I don't know why you enjoy those games that much. I'm glad you. I'm. It's funny that's what you kind of like gravitated towards, though. I wouldn't expect it, but
Man, I ain't expect it either, man.
I guess some games was tight to you, tight.
Yeah. Destiny is definitely my biggest FPS I've played. I feel like it used to be Call of Duty, but when I actually think about it, the only time I played that like all the time when I was little was like over the summer. Whereas Destiny we played for like 3 years straight, every day. So that's why that took up that much time. And I have other games that I've played longer, like franchises like Monster Hunter, because I feel like each game I put like more than 100 hours in. But the one that I played the most was the one on the Wii U, which was 3, and I know I had 1,000 hours in that because the Wii U had a hour tracker that showed I had 1,000 hours.
Boy was going sick. I don't know. I have never gotten to the point of like that, because it's always been something else I got to do, or I want to play everything. That's my biggest problem, wanting to play everything and not just having a focus of what games I should play. And then I end up sparsing my time out to everything, and I really don't focus on one thing and like put more time into it. Like you were really big on platinums, you and Nick, but I never did anything in platinum. I never went back and like got out achievements in a game because I always wanted to play everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it was never a big push for me to like soak in a lot of time into something, because I never found something that was like that pulled all my attention where it was such an easy and like easy to just continuously play. But for some reason Destiny's Loop got me, and I guess I just really enjoy those little shooters type things where you just hunt for gear and stuff like that. And that's what kind of, I guess, because it's something different. It's not different, but it's something like different in like the game type, I guess, or game mode, or finding different gear or obtaining different stuff. I guess that was my kind of, the crutch on why I kept playing it, because then I just venture off into something else, kind of like the rest of the games I played. So, yeah, I mean,
I usually play like one game at a time, so I'll put a lot of time in that one game and then move on to something else because I'm probably not going to touch that one again.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it becoming harder and harder to just buy a game and play it? It's like,
Doom came out on Game Pass. I didn't even touch it yet because, one, I don't have the time, so I might as well wait until the next system come out. But then it's going to be new games, so I'm probably not going to go back to Doom.
Exactly. Why is it becoming harder and harder? I guess it's just time. You're right. It's just time, because it's not like we don't want to play them. It's more so we don't have time to play them. And that's the you can't just sit around and do nothing and expect to have lights. You can't sit around and do nothing and expect to have food on the table. And it sucks, because I really just want to play the game. Most of the time I'll be just chilling, and yeah, real life come a knocking. Real life always come a knocking. But yeah, I'm looking forward to time, stuff.
Bro.
I mean,
you just don't be wanting to, man. You got your PS Vita games you never beat. You got your PS2 games you never beat.
Wait, love bringing out that PS Vita.
You got your Street Fighter DLC stuff that you never did.
I told you I like to play a different array of games, Jalen. So I don't know why you keep saying the same thing over and over, but yeah.
So you got time.
I don't have
time. Not to allocate it.
I
You
don't have
still got 24
time.
hours in a day like you did back when you was in college playing Death Star.
Dude, no, 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 no. I have my wife. I have a full time job, and I do that YouTube. So it's not like I got time on time on time. So it's definitely sparsed out, and I try to be more, conscious of where I'm doing, what I'm doing, and how long I'm doing something. But you heard me. I said I'm taking vacation off just to play a game. That's because I can't just sit around and play it. I have to take off time to do so. So I'm going to take off time because this is my vacation time. Again, it's right around my birthday, so whatever it falls right in line when I was gonna take off vacation anyway because it's my birthday. But
Cap.
huh?
That's cap, bro.
That ain't cap. I was gonna take off time.
Man, we quarantined, dude.
I was taking off time anyway. I was like, I'm just gonna chill at the house, or I was gonna go. What was we gonna do? We was gonna go see my mom and my dad. We was gonna go back to Detroit and see them and stuff. And we was gonna. I think she said she was gonna. I think she wanted to surprise me. I think she's still trying to surprise me with a surprise party or whatever. But that's what she said she was trying to do. So, yeah. So that's what we were planning on doing for. And like again, that's when all the sales going on. But I pretty much got everything I need at this point. So none of that stuff is happening. I'm just gonna be waiting on my my turkey, my mac and cheese, my greens, my yams. I ain't gonna have no pork, unfortunately anymore. But let me have my turkey. But yeah. Good times, buddy. Times are changing.
Well, I'm trying to think. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I feel that though. You're right, man. I was just talking. You just got different priorities and stuff that you gotta handle in life, so I feel that.
Mm-hmm. But as you all know, I bought another television. And that leads me into my next topic here. So the best televisions for this next generation of gaming. Now I know. Well, I'll let y'all tell it, but I know for me, some of that stuff is important. It's more important than most, I would say. And a lot of people are in the same boat as myself where they don't want to spend too much because they don't know if these features are really going to be worth the while, and they don't care enough anyways, and they don't want to spend and break the bank. So there's were some options that I reviewed on my channel, and these things are kind of like, topics that I wanted to go over and stuff like kind of, I would say the budget friendly devices, because I don't want, honestly, right now, I think the generation of the televisions of this year are not that good, nor do they deserve the money. So in my opinion, I have been, looking at budget televisions, things like that. So there's two televisions that I'm going to mention here that I feel like would be the best ones for you guys to take a look at. And again, if you want to see pretty much all my review and my information on these televisions, you can look that up at BCD Universe on YouTube. But the first one is the TCL 6 Series R635. This is like a $650 television. It's 4K. It has mini LEDs in it. It has the variable refresh rate. It has stuff like auto low latency mode, where it automatically switches to the game mode so you can get lower latency on your gameplay. It has things like 1440p, 100 up to 120 hertz panel. Well, it has an actual 120 hertz panel, but it supports 1440p at 120 hertz. It does not support 4K at 120 hertz, unfortunately, but it does support up to 1440p. And it has things like Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos support. It has the eARC support for better sound quality and things of that nature. So it has a ton of the 2.1 features without the 2.0 fully. So it was a television I was recommending for the Series S. And then the recent purchase that I bought was the Vizio OLED that supports the full fat HDMI 2.1, and this here unlocks the ability to have 4K at 120 hertz. Again, these are features that are not widespread. They only have talked about, I would say, 8 games on the Series X that are able to do it day one, and half of them I'm not going to play. But it's, future proofing yourself for the future. And this Vizio was $1,299. I got it on a sale, and I got it for a pretty decent price, but that is the average price that any consumer will pay. And honestly, I was happy with both purchases. The Vizio, obviously, you want to get a warranty because it's Vizio, but it's things like that where you're if you're looking for those features and you definitely don't want to miss out at the beginning when you're going to be able to play your Call of Duty at 120 hertz 4K, or you're going to be able to play your Ori Will of the Wisp at a whopping 4K 120 hertz. You'll want to buy one of these. Again, it's not for everybody, and it's definitely not needed, but it is obviously something I wanted, so I went ahead and got it. And again, I'm happy with my purchase, but I understand holding off, waiting. My suggestion to most logical people is to wait, because these TVs aren't really all the way there yet, in my opinion. They don't have all of the features. Like this Vizio OLED only has 2 ports that supports the HDMI 2.1 output. Yes, that's enough for my Xbox Series X and my PS5, but what if I had a PC? What if I wanted to utilize it for something else? Maybe soundbar audio channels. The eARC port doesn't actually have a HDMI 2.1 channel, so it's things like that you want to be on the lookout for and understand about. So when you're out there shopping, you're looking for something on the budget, my recommendations are the Vizio OLED at a $1,000 to $1,100 price. And then for the budget friendly, you're going to still be able to target 4K 60. You're going to still be able to do a lot of different of the HDMI 2.1 things. It's a TCL series, and that's at $650. Those are my 2 options going into next generation. It'll definitely pair up well. The TCL will pair up well with the Series S. And then that Vizio OLED is obviously going to be able to pair up very well with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, if you want that full fat support at the very beginning, which honestly I don't think you need. But you know me, I'm going to do what I want, and that's what I wanted. So yeah,
TV man.
TV man. What are
And you
y'all?
told him.
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask y'all your opinion, but it seemed like y'all was giving it.
I was gonna say that
about them PLEDs after the OLEDs.
The PLED. Oh my goodness. Look, like, what are you talking about? The PLED.
No, I was just gonna say that if people are in the market for new TVs, then it's those recommendations that you said are probably good, especially when it comes to game systems. It's just, I feel like a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people have 4K TVs yet. I feel like it's much more common now, but I feel like there are still people that rock in 1080p TVs. And for me, TVs in general just don't justify the upgrades enough for their price, especially since TVs come out like yearly. Because I remember selling 4K 60 hertz HDR TVs in 2016, and we're barely getting 120 now, in which people have been wanting 120 4K for a while. So it feel like it's just a slow industry, but that's partly because people generally keep their TVs for a long time. I'm not gonna get a new TV for like, at least 5 years. unless 8K is here and I need a new TV to get that full experience.
Yeah, 8K is not going to be here anytime soon. They already giving us 4K 30 with the ray tracing. I just think that it's more so of those games that Call of Duty at 120 hertz at 4K is probably going to look pretty good, honestly. I would hope that they
Hmm.
still unlock that ability for people that don't have 4K televisions and don't have HDMI 2.1 support. Maybe they just give you guys a 1440p 120 hertz or 1080p 120 hertz, because most 4K TVs out there now do support up to 1080p 120 hertz or either 1440p 120 hertz, but not, you know, the full fat 4K 120 hertz. That's where HDMI 2.1 is necessary. So that's where I kind of feel like, yeah, you could pay a lot of money to get a better television and pay more, because the LG one is like $400 more right now. So people, they could justify that in their minds. I just honestly feel like OLEDs are overpriced. Televisions are overpriced, in my opinion. And for what you're getting, it doesn't deserve the amount of money that you're spending. So Vizio coming in to undercut these companies, and they're using the same panels because literally LG is the only one that makes OLED panels. It really just helped. It's a no-brainer in my eyes. I'm like, I can save money. They have a better HDR implementation. They're cheaper. I'm not saying it's a better television. It's just cheaper. The picture quality is quite similar to what you expect on a LG OLED, and they're ironing out the kinks that they currently have. It has AMD FreeSync on it, so when I plugged it up to my PC, it was able to use the FreeSync no problem. So a lot of these features that you're looking for your next generation consoles, these TVs have, and I would much rather get it at a sub $1,000 price. I wouldn't want to spend more than that on a television anymore. But this one here got $160 more than what I wanted to spend. But that comes with the territory of trying to use stuff that's new and trying to have the most latest and greatest when you don't necessarily need it. That comes down to the same thing about the phones. It's not necessarily that you need 120 hertz or 90 hertz refresh rate on a phone, but you'll want that stuff, and then sometimes the benefit outweighs the cons or whatever. Like, I wouldn't be gaming on my phone, so I don't need a hard processor. I don't need a high refresh rate. I don't need a long battery life. I just need to get through my daily task. And if you're same way when it comes to your TV, like, I don't really necessarily need it. All I watch is Netflix and Hulu. So what I need all those extra bells and whistles for, then that makes total sense. But it comes to the market of people that do need that stuff and want to have that stuff available, and that's where it comes to the decision of whether or not it's worth it or not. I know, Jalen, you recently got a television, not recently, in like a couple of years ago, right? About now, yeah, like a couple of years ago.
Nah,
What?
yeah, you talking about the LG fake 4K 49-inch TV?
Yeah. He said fake 4K.
Man, that's what you
I ain't
call
call it
that.
fake
Fake
4K.
4K. Yeah, nah, fake HDR. That's what you said.
Oh yeah. I said the HDR. It wasn't the peak brightness didn't get high enough for it to really have HDR implementation. So it sounded like they were just enhancing the picture and not fully supporting HDR10. So that's what I was saying.
This TV
Look
the
good
same as
to
all the other
you.
TVs I had.
Hey, he say look good to you. I know the last time he had a plasma, y'all. Yeah, he was still rocking a plasma out here. So I
Them
know.
was running for 10 years.
Yeah,
When I'm working,
I
I'm
know
like, man, I
people.
ain't mad. Is it working?
I know people that will not upgrade their screen. I don't. I mean, and that's totally fine. I commend people that don't really necessarily need the highest end stuff or even care. It's like I have become to the point where it's like you get on this wheel, the hamster wheel, and you start seeing the issues with going budget friendly, and you see like all of the stuff that come along with buying cheap or not buying cheap, but buying at like a mid range versus the higher end. And then you start to always kind of have that in the back of your mind. It's like, why would I not just go for the full flat thing? But if you don't care about that stuff and it's not necessary, you save a ton of money in the long run. Like in my opinion, I feel like anyway. Um, Granted, I didn't have my LG OLED for 3 years now, and it's still going strong, and it still has a pretty good picture, and I still have it in my bedroom, and I plan on keeping the Vizio for at least 5 years, and I plan on keeping my Samsung for at least 2 more years. So I know that at least I'm going to get somewhat my money's worth, and I always end up selling my previous television. So I always try to recuperate something, but it's still taxing to try to even go through all that stuff in that whole process. It's
Especially
kind of
that one
like,
time you was talking to me.
yeah, I got a steal on that one. So it's just, it's just that get off the rabbit, get off the wheel, buddy. Like I can't get off the wheel. And then I thought I was going to be able to sell my Xbox and never go back and just use my PC because I wanted to get off the wheel. And I hated playing on the PC. And then I bought another Xbox. And now I'm buying a Series X. And it's just like I try to do stuff that I, know at least like whatever. I don't need that. I just use this. But rabbit wheel. I mean, the hamster wheel is always a turning. It's always a turning. It's a chase now. But I feel like I'm getting better with some stuff. At least my phone definitely. My equipment I definitely keep for a while. I've had my camera for about 3 years as well, and I'm still using that strong. A lot of my monitors I didn't have for quite a while. So a lot of this stuff I'm keeping around. I'm not saying I upgrade everything, but it's like some things where you see a difference and you like, nah, I can't do it. So it's just those things that really, irk me.
Man, I still don't see what you be seeing on TVs, man.
Well,
My
you got,
eyes ain't trained though, so I'm trying to make sure they stay deconditioned, untrained, so I don't ever get to that point where I'm stuck on that little hamster wheel.
hey, yeah, man. I'm trying to tell you, it's the worst feeling. It's like it feels like, I mean, you can always, because I'm very conscious of what I'm doing. It's just more so like, I don't know. It feels like if I go less than the greater, or because I could have honestly kept the TCL that was 650. All I had to do is return it and like get a different one because there was an issue with one. But I really wanted to just try out the new features, and I didn't like how the TCLs will have blooming effects in like certain areas, and I just couldn't really, because I have an OLED as well. I have that LG, so I'm sitting there looking at the LG, and I'm like, man, this ain't hitting, folks. So so I went and got this thing, obviously $600 more, and I'm like, okay, now it's giving me the picture I need, the features I need. I'm set for next generation, even though it's only going to be like 5 games at launch, and half of them probably not going to run that well. So I was just like, whatever, I don't care. So that's life for you there, buddy. But yeah, those are 2 recommendations I would recommend for you guys if you really after saying all that. Yeah, 2 recommendations, people. If you're really looking for something good out there, definitely get these 2. Those are perfect for you. You're on that hamster wheel.
But no, it's still good to have recommendations, because with all these different TVs and all the different features, it's hard to actually pick them out. My TV, I'm straight with it. It serves 90% of my needs, but I know that there are better TVs, and if I had more options within my budget range, then I might have got something different. I don't know what series the Samsung is, but this one, they're like HDR. Their blacks are like not balanced well, so I probably could have got a better TV with better HDR implementation. But I don't really have an issue with it. I can visibly notice it, because I just know about technology.
Yeah, Yeah, and that's what kind of throws me. So that's when I went and like I said, it's a hamster wheel because I was looking at it and I was like, this is fine. This is fine. I was trying to convince myself, hey, this is just fine, bro. Just just mount this one. And I was like, nah, I wait for that. And then I got this one and I was just like, yeah, this is exactly what I needed. And it has the contrast levels that I want and it has this, that, and the third. And then you know, it's a it's just different. But I feel like most people in my comment section are always talking about how something doesn't work and won't be looking good. I honestly can say that they probably have never owned an OLED. They have never owned anything. So when I recommend these televisions, I'm recommending it to people that probably don't have the means to purchase, nor does it matter to them, honestly, like the changes and like the differences. And when I talk about them, honestly, these that TCL comes very close to my very expensive Samsung that I bought, and I didn't buy it for a very expensive, but it was an expensive Samsung QLED, so it comes very close for a budget friendly price. So when I talk about these televisions, I do my due diligence. I'm not going to just give you something to look into. Like these are top of the line budget television that you will probably get a better picture than you could if you were to spend two times more on something from Samsung or something from LG, and you won't get the full fat experience that you're getting, but you'll get something really close to it at least. And that's what I want to kind of provide people because that way they feel like they actually got the most for their money. They're not just going out there looking at something and that some salesman sells them on even though it doesn't have half the features that they're looking for. So really I tailored it towards gaming. I tailored it towards the series stuff, the stuff that I want to see on the TV. And then I kind of went out there and got that stuff and tested it for people. And that's what I kind of ran my recommendations off of. So it's not like I don't see the competition. I haven't looked at the Sony X900 or all that stuff that's out there, all those other televisions that are looking good. I just know that these two are going to meet two things that people want, and they're definitely going to meet them well. And if you go buy them, I don't feel like you'll have buyer's remorse. Like I don't. So that's all.
Yeah.
What else what else were we going to talk about? I guess it really was just whatever whatever y'all wanted to talk about. I ain't really got much else. I know I just been, living the dream, people. Living a dream, waiting on these consoles to drop and wake up, go sleep, wake up, same place. God, this quarantine. I don't know. It's been rough. But what anything y'all want to discuss?
I guess what's what y'all gonna be playing for the next month until these new systems come out?
Watch Dogs. Watch Disease.
Did that come out soon?
Trying to play with Aiden. Yeah, come on 29th. Come on, like 10 days.
Oh shoot.
It's not like super far away. It's like 10 days, like 12 days.
No, in my head, I still feel like it's the beginning of October, but the month already almost over. So.
Dude, I'm trying to tell you, this that quarantine time, bro. You look up, you like, bro, I could have sworn we had a good 2 more weeks before we got to the 19th. Like, nah, man, them bills coming right back up, boy. Good thing I ain't going nowhere because them bills is fine. But I'm just like, it's just like, hey, I just paid y'all, man. I just paid you. Nah, you gotta pay up again, buddy. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm playing.
I wanted to try it. I never played the other Watchdog games, but I've played the Ubisoft game. So we'll see. I just don't want it to be too. It's not similar to Assassin's Creed, but I don't want to have the same experience playing both because I plan on playing Assassin's Creed when that come out. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of I don't know. I don't have anything else I'm looking forward to. So Watch Dogs, and then Cyberpunk, and then I was thinking about getting. I'm probably am going to get Call of Duty, and then I am probably I'm probably going to get Miles Morales. So those are the games I'm going to be probably purchasing this upcoming end of the year.
Right.
But
Well, they give you time to finish Warframe before they come out.
Warframe.
There you go.
He always trying to squeeze that into a conversation. So,
Yeah, you gotta finish Warframe and Final Fantasy. Those are the 2 games you're missing out on.
Now y'all gotta buy Last of Us and play that. And then I did it. Yeah.
40. Yeah, you ain't played Final Fantasy 7.
I saw it for $38 and I got 25% off coupon at Best Buy. But it ain't enough. It ain't gonna get me to my target. My target was $15.
It's worth it.
My target was $15 or 20, 15 and 20. So I was thinking about it, and you know
it's gonna be better quality than that 63 you're gonna drop on Watch Dogs.
I doubt it. I don't know. I like Watch Dogs look good, man. I'm about to be up in that open world playing with grannies. I'm about to be playing with randos. I'm about to have that. I'm about to be on the drones. You know, swagging, surfing. I don't know. I think that game gonna be a pretty good game, honestly. I think it's gonna be more appealing than Assassin's Creed, but people ain't gonna give me no credit. But I think I'm gonna enjoy that game. I might. Definitely not. Cyberpunk definitely gonna be the better game, but I think they're gonna have more interesting mechanics. Watch Dogs, because it's like you can do. It's like you can basically create your own stories with these people, and they have a system in place where they actually have backlogs, and you can go actually, like, say for instance, I think one person was talking about, one journalist, I forget who it is, unfortunately, but he was talking about how he hit somebody, and he was able to follow up on the person he hit, and was able to pay. He tried to pay for her medical bills. And then her friend saw him on the streets a little bit later and yelled out at him, like, "You the one hit my friend." So it's just like little moments like that that's probably going to stick in my mind. That's going to make me feel like that game is a 10 out of 10. Because it's just like little stuff like that where it's like it's going to feel like a living, breathing place. But hopefully they have more stuff like that in the world, where he honestly said it was like he encountered like 4 or 5 different things like that. So it wasn't as if it was so random. It's like their system. Now, he said it wasn't as robust, so he'd try to go and do more stuff in that mission, or do more stuff in that side, or try to figure out more stuff within that. It's like he said, go like 4 layers deep or 3 layers deep before it breaks down, where it's not much like you can do after. But that's just interesting in its own right. So I just want to see how it plays out. Seems cool.
We'll see. Yeah.
That's for Cyberpunk?
No,
that's Watch Dogs.
Ubisoft.
You be nasty, man.
They finna tear that game up. They finna reuse them assets and have a bunch of Aidens walking around.
Yeah, you don't know nothing about that game. Aiden, he on the DLC.
He on the DLC.
What was that? Why can't I hear?
Josh Mike.
Hello.
But it sounds sorry right now.
No, I sound terrible.
Well, that's probably our cue to wrap up, man.
Dude.
That boy said,
yeah.
Oh, nice.
I can't even do my outro.
Two-Tone Josh is out of here, so we can actually get the outro done. But I want to thank you guys for listening. We're gonna wrap it up here. Man, we done had some technical difficulties today. Y'all don't even want to know about the stuff we did at the beginning of the show. But at the end, it still kind of, rear its little head again. But that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening to the House of Wolves podcast. And we'll catch you in the next one.